This is the 8BitDo Ultimate Mobile Gaming Controller. And this is 8BitDo's like first mobile controller. The current kings, I would say, are GameSir, in my opinion, right? But this is coming in at the more sort of budget entry point to try and like sneak in under them. So let's take a look at this in here, right? Now this comes in at $50 or £40 here in the UK. It supports Android 9 and above. It connects via Bluetooth. There is a USB A to C cable underneath there, and that's all we get inside the box. Comes in at 236 grams. It's also got a 90-minute charge time with a 300 milliamp hour battery, but that gives you 13 hours of gaming. It's got Hall effect joysticks and analog Hall effect triggers as well. We've got tactile clicky bumpers and D-pad, but the D-pad is more cushioned, I would say. We've got two back paddles, which are programmable. We've got turbo via the button, as well as some other features like button swap, as well as like button swap to the back paddles. And it's also compatible with the 8BitDo Ultimate software. However, not right now. Now they sent this to us ages ago, like way before release, like a month before release. And they said, you know, it's not compatible with the software right now, but it will be when it launches. Now I'm filming this after launch, like a week after this is launched, and it's still not working with the software. But I'm sure they'll figure that out soon. On the top, we've got a USB-C to charge it, our pairing button. As I mentioned, this is Bluetooth connectivity, right? So there's no like USB-C that goes into your phone. It's just a telescopic like entry point like this, right? So you grab it, open it up, drop your phone in, clamp it down, and it is all super rubbery. And first impressions are build quality feels really nice, like very, very, very nice. It's pretty much like one of their 8BitDo controllers, like sawn in half, and then like with this big clamp in the middle, right? We've got really nice ergonomics, just like you would expect from a proper controller. It's none of this like weird, like tiny little phone controller thing going on. It's actually a really comfortable controller. Like ergonomically, it just sits in your hands really nicely. Obviously that right stick is quite far down, but the horns do come down quite a bit, like enough to drop your hand down into to be able to play FPS games and stuff. Yes, we've got Hall effect analog joysticks, so minimal chance of drift. It could still happen, but like, you know, basically no drift. Also, lower dead zones and all that good stuff. And when the app actually works, you'll be able to change those dead zones and do so much stuff with it. But we also have anti-friction rings, as well as metal anti-friction stems around the joystick stem, and they are removable. But as always, and something I complain about all the time, is yes, they're removable, but joysticks don't have like a universal key. Every manufacturer uses their own key to be able to change these. So you can't just buy any old joysticks, you have to get the right ones. That annoys me. Why don't they all use the same type so that anything could work? That's kind of frustrating. That's the future, right? If everything could work universally, that would be cool, but right now, no. The joystick caps just there are really nice. They're rubbery and they've got a lovely texture around this piece just here. They feel really good under your thumbs just there. Everything just fits really nicely. We've got really nice face buttons as well, which is, you know, what I'd expect from an 8BitDo controller. Like this is just exactly like all their other controllers. It just feels premium. We've got a plus, we've got a minus, we've got the star button, which is for all the remapping and turbo and everything. That is the home button. That's basically it. Like on the back, yes, we've got these back paddles and they do feel consistent within one another. We do have like a really small etching around here, but honestly, I can't really feel that at all as added grip. It's just more of like a stylistic choice, but whatever. Now to connect this is Bluetooth, and as I've mentioned, it's Android only, Android 9 and above, right? So you've got to press the home button for a few seconds and then press and hold the pair button for a few seconds, go to your phone's Bluetooth and just pair it up. It's as easy as that. Once you've done that, you can get your phone. I mean, you could just play it like this, right? You could literally just play without it even connected, but I just get my phone in the back there and just kind of open it up. Now, I've got a pretty fat phone, right? This is the Google Pixel 8 Pro with a really chunky mouse case, but once it's on, You know, it fits in there really nicely, despite the fact that it is very wide. I'm not taking my phone case off, but there is a gap there for any camera bumps that you can see just there, but you can see it fits in there nicely. We do have tiny little like feet stoppers so that it has to sit there. So if you've got a really like tall phone, it is going to sit upwards. It's not going to be able, you can't like shift it down unless you like really pull it up and over that lip, and then it's going to not be stable at all. But you know, whatever, like it's fine for me. But I could see the top of my phone there. I was like, I wonder if I could push it down. I was like, oh no, I can't. It's got little feet. But yeah, there we go. Once you're in, I mean, my phone's now upside down. Once you're in, this is what it's like. You know, this is the Google Pixel 8 Pro with the 8BitDo Ultimate. I think it looks really good. It feels so nice. Like, it feels really, really nice. Now, most of you know, if you know me already, I am not a phone gamer, but I do enjoy streaming games, whether that's to my Asus ROG Ally X or whatever it might be, you know, and phones can do that, right? But I would never do it without a controller, and a controller like this one makes streaming viable. But one thing I just never do is play mobile games. And what am I doing now? I'm playing a mobile game. So I've been testing out a few, but just now before filming, I was like, you know what? I've wanted to play Diablo Immortal, and I wonder if it would support like the controller, and it does, you know, it does. So I've loaded this up. I really like Diablo, a massive fan of Diablo, and I've always wanted to play it, but I've never actually wanted to play it with touchscreen controls. But using this, it's really cool. And like I said, with the battery life, up to 13 hours, that is partially due to the fact that there's no RGB LEDs. The only LEDs are on the home button just there and the star button just there, and that is it. And I think that's a really good move. You do not need RGB LEDs on this thing to waste battery life. I think this is a really good idea to just keep it minimal so that you can get the maximum life out of it. Now, there is one downside, is because it's Bluetooth connecting, right? You can't pass through charge your phone. So you can't plug in your chargers to that and charge your phone because it's just Bluetooth wirelessly connected, right? And you cannot access your phone port because it's now clamped in here. So that is something you're going to have to keep in mind. Be wary of your phone's battery life and the battery life of the controller, because you know you can't do like charge both at the same time or anything like that. However, actually playing a game, it's been really good. I mean, I must admit, on this specific game, I'm right near the beginning. I just started like playing this, but I have played a couple of other phone specific games, which I never normally do. Whenever I test these kind of controllers, I just stream like Game Pass and stuff like that to it. But I actually have been really enjoying playing through Diablo Immortal because, yeah, it's something I'd never thought I'd actually be able to play because, again, I'm not a phone game guy. But the good thing about Diablo is you can just press like right and then get up a cursor as if it was like a mouse or whatever, and you can go up to the menu and stuff. Like if you don't want to touch the screen, then that's really cool. Like I can do it all just from the controller itself. And I really appreciate that because I personally hate getting sticky finger marks and having to like drop my hands to then go and press something like that. That annoys me. I just want the console-like experience of keeping my hands locked in at all times, which has definitely been fun. Now, one thing I think a lot of people will be wanting one of these for is emulation. Loads of people emulate on the phones. I don't, because I just do it on other handheld devices, right? But this being 8BitDo, we know we're going to like the D-pad. You know, we know we're going to like it. It is a tactile D-pad, but it's like a cushioned tactile D-pad. So, you know, I personally really like it. It feels exactly how I'd expect an 8BitDo D-pad to feel like. So I'm in the firing range on Black Ops 6 right now. Again, I've mentioned the buttons, but they are really nice. There's a slight bit of pre-travel, not really much post-travel. I would say a tiny bit of pre and post-travel, but like not noticeable, not like in an inconvenient way. The bumpers are great. They're tactile, they're super clicky, basically zero pre-travel, but post-travel there's quite a lot of. If you really push into it, there's quite a bit of post-travel, you know, there's a bit of wiggle there, but honestly in use you don't really notice that. Analog Hall effect, analog triggers for your racing games and all that good stuff. Nice and short throw, so still good for shooters as well. Everything just feels really good on this controller, but again, it is 8BitDo, so I would expect that. And I'm glad that they haven't like let their quality slip down. So now we're in Call of Duty Black Ops 6 just here, right? And I want to show you some stuff. So first of all, you can swap buttons around, right? So there is button swap, and I'm not talking about swapping them to the back. I'm on about straight up swapping buttons around, right? So A is jump, B is crouch. If I hold both of them and press the star button, right? Now A is crouch or prone if I hold it, and B, when I get there, is now jump, right? So I've now swapped them over. Now in the manual, it says it's only the face buttons. Everything else doesn't work. You can't swap them over. It just doesn't work. But they're lying to you. And I don't know if it's because I got a pre-release unit. Like I said at the beginning, I've had this one like a month before release. Maybe the manual was wrong. Maybe they've changed that for, you know, out to public. But if they haven't, loads of people are probably thinking, oh, you just can't do it. So they haven't even tried it. I just thought, let's try it. And yeah, it works. So if I want to do the sticks, they say, no, you can't do the sticks, right? So I'm just going to put these back. So I'm going to hold A and B and then press the star once. And now jump is A again, B is, you know, crouch. But it tells you cannot swap left or right stick click. So we know right stick click, right, is melee in this game. Right, I'm going to swap it with, let's go with A, right? So I'm going to press both down and then press that button. Look at this. Now A is melee. Right, and if I click that stick in, it's now jump. And they said you can't do that, right? So I'm gonna just reverse them, hold both, press once, and now I'm back to jump, back to melee there. Now they also said you can't do it with the like start and select buttons, which was another lie. So I'm gonna do it with plus, right? So let's do B and plus. So I'm gonna press both and press that once, right? So now that does nothing because it's now the start button. Plus is now B. So I'm going to press plus to back out. I'm going to press B to press start. So it does work. I don't know why they said it doesn't. And I've specifically tested the exact ones they said it doesn't work with, which it does work with. Okay. And now we can also change to these back paddles. So what you need to do first is choose whatever button you want to put onto that back paddle and hold them simultaneously, right? Simultaneously? I know Americans say simultaneously. Whatever. So back paddle and A at the same time. Press the star once, and now I can press the back paddle and jump. Right? Now they also say in the manual that you can't rebind left stick or right stick to these back paddles, but I'm just going to prove it wrong. So I'm going to do the left one and melee and press that. Oh look. Now I've got melee on that back paddle. I really don't know why they said you couldn't do this when all of this works. I really don't know. Again, like I said, it might be different now that it's released. The manual, you know, might be correct, and all of this might be a load of rubbish. But anyway, right, now you've got turbo, okay? So I'm going to do it with B. Yeah, let's just go with B. So I'm going to press B and then turbo once, so the star button once. And now if I press and hold it, do you see how I'm like going up and down, 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 up and down? It's inputting B for me. That's what turbo is. It's just repeating that process for me as if I was spamming the button like this, right? To save my fingers and also say where on the buttons. So it's just going to do that. Now if I press B and star again, right? Now it's turned it off. That light isn't flashing anymore. It's just turned off. But if I press B and double star, I can now let go and it's just going to keep going for me. I can go away and do whatever and come back and then just press B and nothing's going to happen. If you hold it, it will pause it, right? But if I let go, it's going to continue. So I've got to press B and start again. And now that has cancelled it out. And that's all the special features that are available without the app. With the app, I'm sure you'll be able to change dead zones on the triggers and on the sticks as well and all that good stuff. Everything here just feels amazing, it really does. And to get your phone out, you just literally do that, basically. You just pull it out and lift up. So the 8BitDo Ultimate Controller, what do I think of it? Well, actually I think it's really good. Do I think it's the best? No. I'm sorry 8BitDo, that crown is still held by GameSir. However, I do want to say the GameSir Galileo and the Galileo Plus are more than double the price of this. So it's completely unfair for me to say that those are better because the price jump is massive, right? For the price point of this, which is more than half cheaper, I'd actually say this is the one I'd recommend. So despite the fact that I'd say this is not the best, I would say at £40, around that $40 to $50 mark, I'd say this is actually a stunning controller. Everyone knows 8BitDo. You're gonna get a fantastic build quality, Hall effect joysticks, really nice buttons, tactile, clicky D-pad and triggers, analog Hall effect sticks, well, triggers I mean, but you know, sticks as well. Back paddles, you know, it's gonna fit a range of controllers or phones, whatever I'm talking about. You've got some features there where they lie to you, but actually it ends up being better than what they tell you about, which is always a good thing. Like, you know, why limit yourselves? Be better than you're telling everyone you are, and that's what they're doing here, right? I think you're getting a really good controller here. No RGB, 13 hours of use for like an hour and a half charge, right? Comes with the lead, Bluetooth connection. That could be seen as a bit of a downside because you can't then, you know, pass through, charge your phone and stuff. But honestly, I don't think it's that bad. If you're looking to do a bit of phone gaming, a bit of phone emulation, some Game Pass streaming or whatever it is, if you're going on a trip or something, I think this is a fantastic little controller. I really, really do. Very, very good. For the other ones that are on the market around this price point, they're like weird shapes and stuff. Not a big fan of that. Much rather have a full, like, actual pro controller feel where I've got really good ergonomics as well as good sticks and everything else. It's no different than playing on your Xbox or your PlayStation. Well, obviously not your PlayStation because it's got asymmetrical sticks, right? But you know what I'm talking about. This is a really good controller. So do I recommend it? Yes, I do. Despite the fact that right now, the software for the phone is not compatible, but it is 8BitDo, so I'm giving them a bit of like leeway here to hopefully fix that soon, and then, you know, that will make this even better. But even as it stands right now, it's really good. So let me know what your thoughts are of the 8BitDo controller down in the comments whilst you're down there. Like this video, subscribe, become a member, and you can talk to me and AJ over on our private Discord. And talking of AJ, check out our podcast over here and check out another video from me, maybe the GameStar one. If you want a more expensive phone controller that's gonna be a little bit better, you know, check out this video down here. Bye.